Stay silent. Because the world doesn't need to know your every move. The world doesn't need to hear your dreams, your plans, your tears, or your struggles. Stay silent and watch how everything you've ever wanted starts to flow towards you like a magnet. Do you know why silent people win? Because silence is power. Silence is mystery. Silence is danger. And danger is attractive. If you can master silence, you can master life. Today I will tell you why the most successful, most irresistible, most unstoppable people stay silent, and how you can use this secret to achieve everything you desire. Silence builds unbreakable self-control. And self-control, my dear, is not something ordinary people can master. It is rare, it is divine, it is the mark of someone who is destined for greatness. When you learn to remain silent, not because you're weak, but because you're wise, you step into a league of your own. You become the woman who cannot be shaken, cannot be provoked, cannot be disturbed. You see, most people in this world are slaves of their emotions. The moment someone gossips about them, they react. The moment someone criticizes them, they jump to defend. The moment life throws a challenge, they panic, complain, scream. But the woman of power, the woman of grace, she stays silent. Think of the morning traffic. You are stuck, the car isn't moving, people are honking like crazy, and the usual reaction? Shouting, cursing, getting angry. But does that change the traffic? No, it changes you. It drains your energy, spoils your mood, and destroys your peace. But if you stay silent, if you take a breath and let the chaos happen outside while you remain calm inside, suddenly you win the moment. Your self-control becomes your shield. You protect your day, your mind, your spirit. The traffic is the same, but you are not. Let's take another daily moment. The workplace. Someone tries to provoke you. A jealous colleague mocks you in front of everyone. Your first instinct is to clap back, to put them in their place. But wait. What happens if you respond? You lower yourself to their level. You enter their drama. You waste your energy trying to prove something to someone who does not matter. But when you smile gently and stay silent, the room feels your power. They wonder, why isn't she reacting? Why isn't she affected? Your silence burns them more than your words ever could. Because deep down, they realize they cannot touch you. Your self-control becomes a silent sword. It cuts their arrogance without a single word. And relationships, oh, relationships. How many times do we lose our self-respect by speaking when we should? A boyfriend ignores your messages, takes you for granted, and you break down. You call, you text, you beg for attention. But imagine if you stay silent, if you don't explain, don't beg, don't justify. You let your silence scream your worth. Suddenly, the power shifts. Suddenly, they realize you're not like the rest. You do not run after anyone. Your self-control speaks louder than your emotions. Because the truth is, silence in love is not weakness, it is dignity, even at home. A family member criticizes your dreams. They say you can't do it. You are not enough. You are not strong enough. And your heart burns. You want to fight back to prove them wrong right there. But stop. What if you stayed silent and let your success answer? What if you smiled, said nothing, and worked so hard in silence that one day your results left them speechless? What if you smiled, said nothing, and worked so hard in silence that one day your results left them speechless? Wouldn't that be the sweetest revenge? Because self-control means you don't waste your fire on small people. You save it for your empire. And think about life's hardest days, when everything breaks, when you lose, when you fail, when the world doubts you. The normal reaction is to scream at the sky, to cry loudly, to complain, to blame. But the rare woman, the unstoppable woman, she stays silent, she breathes, she cries in silence, she wipes her own tears, and she keeps moving. She lets the storm pass without breaking her spirit. This is the highest form of self-control, the kind that builds legends, the kind that no school, no university, no guru can teach you. It is born in your pain, in your patience, in your power. Because silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. Full of awareness, full of focus, full of energy. You choose not to waste your words. You choose not to waste your emotions. You become the queen who watches, who plans, who waits for the perfect moment. And when that moment comes, you rise, strong, unshaken, unstoppable. Your self-control has made you bulletproof. And no one, not your enemies, not your fears, not even life itself, can break you anymore. Silence confuses your enemies. It drives them crazy. Because people are used to noise. They are used to explanations, arguments, drama. They are used to pushing buttons and seeing people explode. But when you stay silent, they don't know what to do. They can't read you. They can't predict you. They can't control you. And that is terrifying. Your silence becomes a mirror to their insecurity. It reflects their weakness back to them. And they are left wondering, why isn't she reacting? Why isn't she broken? Why isn't she playing the game I set for her? That confusion is more powerful than any insult, any comeback, any scream. Imagine a jealous colleague at work. She spreads rumors. She gossips behind your back. She throws little comments meant to hurt you. Normally you'd want to confront her. You'd want to expose her lies, fight her with truth. But stop. What if you said nothing? What if you let the silence hang in the air while she waits for your reaction and it never comes? She checks your face, calm, unbothered. She checks your work, flawless. She checks your energy, unshaken. Now she's the one who feels small. Now her tricks feel foolish. Now she wonders, what does this woman know that I don't? Why isn't she bothered? Your silence has made her own words meaningless. Because silence makes noise in the mind of the enemy. It rings louder than thunder. Look at relationships. When a man tries to manipulate you, he ghosts you, thinking you'll chase him. He ignores your messages, waiting for you to beg. He pulls away, expecting drama. But you stay silent. No angry texts. No crying calls. No pathetic explanations. Just silence. And suddenly, he is the one checking his phone, waiting for your reaction, wondering if you've forgotten him, questioning his own worth. Your silence has flipped the game. It has made him the insecure one. Because nothing makes a man panic more than a woman who stays silent, a woman who walks away without a word. He expected weakness and he met strength. And strength, my dear, makes enemies nervous. Even in friendships, silence breaks fake bonds. A friend betrays you, lies to you, talks behind your back. Everyone expects a scene, a big fight, a breakup full of tears and blame. But you don't give them the drama they crave. You simply step back, quietly, with grace. No loud exits, no Facebook posts, no explanations. And suddenly, they are left explaining themselves to others. Why is she not talking to me? What happened? Their mind races, their guilt grows, because when you stay silent, you don't close the chapter. You leave it open in their head. Forever. Even enemies in life, competitors, haters, doubters, expect you to react. They want to see you break. They want to see you defend. They want to see you try hard to prove your worth. But you know better. You let your work speak. You let your success scream. You let your glow up be the loudest answer. Imagine the classmate who laughed when you dreamed big. Imagine the boss who said you couldn't handle the promotion. Imagine the family member who said you'd fail in life. They are all waiting for your failure, watching for a sign that you're struggling. But you stay silent. You work in the shadows. You grow in the dark. And one day, you arrive, beautiful, powerful, unstoppable. Your silence has confused them so deeply, they don't even see you coming. Even in arguments, silence wins. Two people fight in public, loud, ugly, and you walk by, silent, smiling, peaceful. They notice. Everyone notices. Because silence is rare. Silence is mysterious. And mystery is power. No one attacks what they cannot understand. Your silence makes you unpredictable. And the unpredictable woman is dangerous. Your enemies don't fear your words. They fear not knowing what's in your mind. They fear the unknown. They fear the quiet confidence. Because anyone can shout. Anyone can argue. But only the strong can stay silent. Only the strong can watch the game without playing it. Your silence breaks their plan. It shatters their expectation. It turns their attack into confusion. And confusion is your secret weapon. Silence triggers curiosity and respect in a way words never can. When you walk into a room and speak less, people look twice. When you choose not to answer every question, not to react to every comment, you become a mystery they want to solve. And this, my dear, is a power very few understand. Because people today talk too much. They reveal too much. They explain, justify, complain, expose every little thought they have. But when you remain silent, when you hold back your words, you create an invisible force around you. A sense of control, a sense of confidence. People begin to wonder, what is she thinking? Why is she so calm? Why is she not like the rest? You don't need to shout to make an impact. Your silence makes them lean in, closer. Think of the girl in the classroom who never raises her hand. She listens more than she speaks. She doesn't rush to prove she knows everything. But when she finally speaks, the entire class stops and listens. Because her silence made her words rare. And what is rare is valuable. When you don't flood people with your opinions, your voice becomes golden. People crave to hear it because you have shown them it is not given freely. Your silence builds anticipation. And anticipation is the mother of curiosity. Look at the workplace. There's always that one woman who doesn't gossip in the break room, who doesn't share her personal life with everyone, who smiles quietly and gets the job done. Others talk about their problems, their weekends, their relationships. But she stays private, professional, focused, and guess what happens? People notice. Managers notice. They begin to wonder about her discipline, her ambition, her strength. She earns silent respect because her silence says, I don't need validation from you. I don't need attention. I'm here for purpose, not for drama. And that unspoken message builds power no words can. Even in relationships, silence triggers curiosity. A man texts you, calls you, flirts with you, and you don't respond right away. You don't flood him with messages. You don't drop everything for him. You stay silent, busy, mysterious. And suddenly, he thinks about you more. He wonders where you are, what you are doing, why you are not chasing him like others. Your silence makes you different, and different is unforgettable. You see, chasing lowers your value, but silence raises your worth. When you're silent, they realize you're not desperate, you are desired, and that makes you powerful in their mind. Even with enemies, silence earns respect. A competitor tries to insult you, challenge you publicly, but you stay calm. You don't fight back, you don't defend. You let their noise fill the space. And in that moment, everyone sees. You are not on their level. You are above it. Your silence becomes a crown on your head. And people bow to it. Because only queens know how to remain silent when others beg for war. Only the strong smile while others scream. Think about family. The aunt who questions your life choices. The uncle who says, you'll never succeed. The cousin who laughs at your dreams. You could argue, you could explain, but you choose silence. You choose peace. You let them talk. You let them mock. And you keep building your empire in quiet. One day, they will watch your success with wide eyes. And they will respect the woman who never needed to shout to prove herself. Even strangers feel it. You walk into a party. You don't rush to make friends. You don't tell your story to everyone. You observe. You smile slightly. And suddenly they all want to know you. They whisper, who is she? Because silence makes you unforgettable. People want to know what you're hiding, what secrets you carry. What strength lies beneath your calm face? And this curiosity turns into admiration, into respect. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is full of confidence, full of grace, full of untold stories. When you master silence, you master attention. You master mystery. You master the room without even speaking. And that, my dear, is rare power. Silence protects your dreams from jealous eyes. Silence, because not everyone deserves to hear your plans. Not every ear that listens is pure. Some people smile at your dreams, but secretly pray you will fail. Some pretend to cheer for you, but inside they burn with envy. And the more you speak of your dreams, the more you feed their jealousy. Their negativity seeps into your path like poison, slowing you down without you even knowing. But when you stay silent, when you nurture your dreams in secret like a hidden fire, you protect them. You guard them from the cold winds of doubt, from the bitter hearts that cannot bear to see you rise. Imagine this. A young woman starts planning her business. She's excited. She wants to share this joy with everyone, friends, family, colleagues. But every time she shares, someone says, but the market is hard. Are you sure you can do this? So many people fail, you know. And little by little, her fire dims. Doubt creeps in. Fear whispers. But then there's another woman. She keeps her dream hidden. She works quietly. No announcements. No social media posts. No explanations. She lets her results speak, not her words. And when her business blooms, suddenly, the world is shocked When did this happen? They ask. How did she do this? But she smiles silently. Because her dream grew away from jealous eyes, away from their silent curses, away from their heavy doubts. Even at work, this power protects. There's always that colleague who asks, so what's your next move? They pretend to care, they act friendly, but you see the flicker of envy in their eyes. And if you reveal your plans, I'm applying for that big promotion, they rush to block you, to sabotage you, to discourage you. But when you stay silent, they know nothing. They cannot interfere. They cannot stop what they cannot see. You move like shadow, fast and invisible. And they are left wondering, what is she up to? While you rise. In relationships too, silence guards your dreams. You meet someone new, you fall in love. The temptation is to share it all. Your hopes, your vision, your plans for the future. But not every ear that hears your love story will wish you well. Some will smile and stab you later. Some will nod while thinking, let's see how long this lasts. But when you stay silent, when you build your love in quiet, no bad energy can touch it. No bitter word can shake it. You protect the beauty of your new world until it is strong enough to face the outside. Even family can sometimes be dangerous to your dreams. You tell your cousin you want to move abroad, build a new life, chase a bigger dream, and they say, but who do you think you are? People like us don't succeed there. Their words wrap around your ambition like chains. But silence breaks these chains. When you keep your dreams to yourself, when you water them in secret, they grow wild, strong, unstoppable. By the time the world sees what you've built, it's too late for them to stop you. Think of the woman who dreamed of writing a book. She told no one, not her friends, not even her family. Every night after work, she wrote quietly, silently, without praise, without applause, without approval. And then, one day, her book was published. A bestseller. A sensation. The same people who would have doubted her now cheer. But she remembers. They knew nothing. Because her silence protected her dream from their small minds. Even among strangers, silence is your armor. You sit at a cafe, planning your future. The man at the next table smiles, asks what you do, what you want in life. He's curious, but you smile gently and say little, because your future is not for random eyes. It's sacred. It's fragile in the beginning. Like a seed, hidden underground, safe from storms, safe from hungry birds. Only when it becomes a strong tree can it face the sky. People are uncomfortable with silence. They demand to know. What's your plan? They ask. What's next for you? But you owe no answers. You owe no explanation. Your silence keeps your dream pure, untouched, powerful. And when you finally reveal your success, the world will not know how you did it. Because they never saw it coming. Because you never spoke when it was weak. You waited. You protected. You built in silence. Silence attracts the right energy in ways that noise never can. In a world full of loud opinions, constant updates, endless talking, silence stands out like royalty in a room of beggars. When you are silent, you send a quiet message to the universe. I don't chase. I attract. I don't scream for attention. The right people, the right opportunities, the right blessings will find me. And they do. Because silence carries power. It vibrates at a different frequency, a peaceful one. And peace is rare. The restless chase what they cannot have. But the calm, make the world come to them. Look at the woman who walks into a crowded office, sitting quietly at her desk. She doesn't laugh the loudest. She doesn't join the gossip. She doesn't force her presence. But slowly, people are drawn to her. They want to know her story. They want to work with her. They want to be in her calm space. Why? Because silence brings peace. And peace is attractive. People are tired of noise. They are tired of drama. They are tired of confusion. A silent woman says, without words, I am in control. I know who I am. I do not need to prove myself. And that confidence calls the right energy. Respect, admiration, opportunity. Even in friendships, silence works like magic. Silence attacks your work. The confidence calls the right energy. Respect, admiration, opportunity. Even in friendships, silence works like magic. The confidence calls the right energy. Respect, admiration, opportunity. Even in friendships, silence works like magic. This is an important truth to know. Silence, there's always that friend who overshares, who speaks all the time, who floods the room with stories, opinions, problems. And there's another, the quiet friend, the one who listens, who smiles gently, who thinks before speaking, who values space. Guess which friend others trust more? Guess who they turn to when they need real advice, real comfort? The silent one. Because her energy is calm, welcoming, safe. She does not drain, she fills. Her silence invites truth, depth, honesty. She attracts not the fake, not the shallow, but the sincere, the loyal, the real. Think of the woman sitting in a cafe with her book. She is not scrolling her phone, not looking around for attention. She is content, alone. And guess what happens? The right energy finds her. A stranger who respects quiet may approach her. A person of depth, not drama, a conversation of meaning, not small talk. Because when you are silent, you filter the energy that comes to you. Loudness attracts noise. Silence attracts grace. Not every man in the room feels bold enough to disturb her peace. Only the ones who sense her worth will dare to come close. And that is how queens meet kings. Even on social media, this truth shines. The influencer who shares every private detail, what she eats, who she dates, what she fears, may gain followers fast. But she also attracts gossip, judgment, envy. Meanwhile, the woman who posts rarely, wisely, powerfully, builds quiet influence. People wait for her posts. They save her words. Because she does not pour herself out for everyone, she protects her energy. And so, the energy she receives is clean, strong, uplifting. At home, silence keeps peace alive. When two people argue, the one who shouts may feel powerful, but the one who stays silent holds true power. Because silence does not fuel the fire, it cools it. It calms the space. And in that calm, understanding grows. Solutions appear. Healing begins. Have you ever watched an argument where one person suddenly stops speaking? The whole room shifts. The energy changes. Silence commands attention and respect. Without a single word spoken, think of the artist who spends hours in silent practice, the writer who wakes at dawn and writes quietly before the world stirs, the entrepreneur who plans her empire alone in the late night. They are not showing off. They are not bragging. They are not asking for likes or approval. And so, their silence gathers pure energy. Focus, clarity, vision. The world cannot distract them because they are not calling the world. They are calling destiny. And destiny answers only the quiet-hearted. Even in nature, this law rules. The lake that reflects the sky is not the noisy one. It is the still one. The forest that feels most sacred is not filled with shouting. It is the one where silence breathes between the trees. And when you carry silence in your soul, you become like that forest, like that lake. People come to you not for noise, but for peace. They leave you not drained, but full. When you are silent, you give the universe room to work. You do not block its gifts with your fear, your need to control, your endless talking. You trust, you wait, you receive, and in that space, the right energy flows to you. People who respect you, friends who understand you, lovers who value you, opportunities that match your worth. Silence does not mean emptiness. It means readiness. And what is meant for you will always find you when you are quiet enough to hear its steps approaching. Silence makes your comeback unstoppable, because silence is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the quiet fire burning inside you when the world thinks you've lost, when they whisper that you are done, finished, forgotten. But they do not know that while they gossip, while they laugh behind your back, while they mock your fall, you are rising. Silently, powerfully, patiently, no noise, no drama, just growth. And when you return, your comeback shakes the ground beneath their feet. Because you didn't speak, you built. You didn't argue, you worked. You didn't defend yourself, you transformed. And when that transformation is revealed, it is unstoppable. Have you ever seen a woman who disappeared for a while? From the parties, from social media, from the endless noise. People wondered, where did she go? Did life defeat her? They whispered that maybe she failed, maybe she broke down. But what they didn't see was the late nights she spent reading, planning, healing, training. They didn't see the mornings she woke before the sun to rebuild her strength, her mind, her confidence. When she came back, she wasn't the same. She was a queen, crowned by her own sweat. And the same mouths that gossiped stood silent in shock. Because silence creates surprise, and surprise makes your comeback impossible to ignore. Think about an athlete who loses a match. Everyone writes him off. The media says he's over. The fans stop believing. But does he answer their insults? No. He trains, alone, in silence. He runs when no one is watching. He lives when no one is watching. He sharpens every weakness, strengthens every flaw, prepares every part of his game. And when the day comes, the world gasps. His comeback is not an accident. It is the result of silent work, silent focus, silent fire. And that is why his return is unstoppable. Because the silence made him stronger than anyone guessed. Even in business, this truth rules. There are entrepreneurs who lose everything: money, reputation, respect. People shake their heads. She'll never rise again, they say. But they are wrong, because she stops talking and starts building. She cuts off the noise, closes the door, opens her laptop, and plans the next empire. In secret. In silence. Months pass. No updates. No announcements. Then suddenly, a new brand, a new company, a new success, bigger than before, stronger than ever. And the haters? Speechless. Because silence covered the roots of her next victory. And when the flower bloomed, it shocked them all. Look at relationships. When someone breaks your heart, the world expects you to beg, to cry, to post sad quotes, to seek sympathy. But the silent woman does none of that. She disappears. He checks his phone, no message. He waits for drama, none comes. And slowly panic grows in him. What is she doing? Why is she so quiet? And that fear eats at him more than any words could. Because silence makes them wonder. Silence makes them regret. And when she returns, stronger, glowing, confident, he realizes she was building her life, not breaking. And that comeback hits him harder than any revenge. Silence is the shield of the wise. The soldier who talks about war has already lost. The soldier who sharpens her sword in silence wins before she even fights. Life is the same. When you are silent about your plans, you protect them. When you are silent about your pain, you heal faster. When you are silent about your dreams, they grow untouched by jealousy, doubt, or distraction. And then, when you speak, when you reveal what you've been building, the world cannot stop you. Because they never saw it coming. Even in school, this is true. The quiet student, the one no one notices, the one who stays late studying instead of showing off. She is the one who wins the prize. The one who tops the exam, the one who shocks everyone on graduation day. Because silence kept her focused. Silence kept her disciplined. And silence made her triumph louder than any voice could. In health, this law whispers. The person who fights illness silently, who chooses to heal in peace, to eat better, to rest well, to strengthen gently, without telling the world, is the one who returns with glowing skin, bright eyes, unstoppable energy. Mrs. Della, friends say, "You look amazing. What happened?" And they smile. Because the silent journey brought the greatest result. Silence makes your comeback unstoppable. Because while others waste time proving themselves, you improve yourself. While they speak, you build. While they guess, you rise. And when you finally reveal your power, the world has no defense. Your silence made you stronger than their noise ever could. Listen closely, because this is the truth no one told you in school, no one whispered in your ear when you were broken, and no friend dared to remind you when you stood at your weakest. The world does not reward noise. The world rewards results. You can shout your dreams to the sky. You can post 1,000 pictures. You can argue with the world about your worth. But in the end, the one who stays silent works in shadows and rises with power, rules them all. Which means you can shout your dreams to the sky. You see, silence is the language of the strong. And when you walk in silence, you speak to the universe itself. The world leans in to listen to those who say nothing but do everything. Because your quiet energy, your quiet discipline, your quiet fire, it grows into something that no enemy, no doubter, no betrayer can destroy. Never announce your next move. Let your results announce you. Never scream for attention. Let your success make the noise. Remember this. Even the moon that commands oceans never makes a sound. Even the sun that burns the sky with its glory rises every day in complete silence. Power does not beg. Strength does not scream. It simply is. When you understand this, you will know why the silent rise is always the most dangerous. Because the silent ones don't seek validation, they seek victory. Have you ever seen the lion in the wild? Before the attack, before the leap, before the kill, it is silent. No warning, no roar, only patience, stillness, watchfulness. And then the unstoppable moment comes. In one silent breath, the jungle changes forever. Be that lion, be the silent storm that no one sees coming. Because when you strike, the world will remember your silence more than their own noise. And those who laughed at you, who whispered you were finished, who thought your silence was weakness, they will choke on their own doubts when they see your rise. They will stand frozen in disbelief when you show them what silent power can do. Because the sweetest revenge is success made in silence. In life, never forget this truth. People who are loud are really strong. The ones who speak the most usually have the least to offer. The real queens, the real kings, they speak only when necessary. They show their glory not with words, but with results. Let them gossip. Let them doubt. Let them wonder. While they waste time, you build empires in silence. And when the right moment comes, when you have built your strength, sharpened your mind, polished your skill, then you rise. Not with noise, not with drama, but with unstoppable, undeniable force. A force that shakes the world without saying a word. Because your silence made you unpredictable. Your silence made you unforgettable. The best part? They will never see you coming. You will arrive as a storm they cannot predict. You will rise like dawn they forgot to expect. And you will take everything they thought you could never have. Because while they were distracted by their own noise, you were becoming unstoppable. Tell me, what's louder than a silent comeback? What's stronger than patience mastered? What's more dangerous than someone who needs no applause to keep moving forward? Nothing. That's the most terrifying thing in this world. A person who does not need approval, does not seek pity, does not demand attention. A person who knows their worth so deeply, they let their work scream for them. So I tell you, stay silent. When they doubt you, stay silent. When they betray you, stay silent. But while you are silent, work harder than ever. Sharpen your mind, heal your soul, build your dreams in secret, polish your spirit in private. Because the comeback you are preparing will not need to speak. It will shake the world without a sound. Listen to this final truth and let it burn into your heart. The loudest in the room